Hey guys, what is up? This is Swift here for Chinese Tech. Today I'll be doing my full review of the ZTE Nubia Z7 Max, one of the higher end phones offering by ZTE themselves. Now, sorry for the delay of this phone. I know I did the unboxing quite some time ago, but due to some circumstances, I had to delay the review for a while. But anyway, here it is. Better now than never, and this is the Z7 Max. So as always, I'm going to start off with reading out some of the specifications here of the phone itself. So in terms of dimensions, we have it at 152.7 by 76, and it's 8.7 mm thick. So that is the size of the phone. Then we have, in terms of network, we have dual micro SIM, and both SIM card slots are LTE or 4G ready. So this is one of the very few phones out there in the market that supports dual SIM LTE. So that is one of the very good features already. So yeah, so dual SIM, dual micro SIM, and in terms of network, it supports a variety of networks here. I'm gonna read out to you. 2G is GSM 850, 900, 1800, and 1900. For 3G, it supports SCDMA, bands 34 and 39, and WCDMA 850, 1900, 2100, and it even supports CDMA. I don't know what this is. AVDO 800. I'm not too sure what that is, but it's one of the networks that are out there. And it also supports, for 4G network, it supports TDD LTE bands 38, 39, and 40, and 41, and FDD LTE of bands 3, 1, and 7. So you should be covered across the whole world. It should be that your carrier will be one of this, utilizes one of these bands anyway. So anyways, if you missed out anything I just said, you can head on to the full written review. The link will be in the description, and you can read the specifications that is over there. Now, in terms of display here, what you're seeing here is a 5.5-inch IPS LCD display. They did not state whether there is any kind of protection at all, but I have my own glass screen protector over here. But it's an IPS LCD display of Full HD resolution. That's 1080 by 1920 or 1920 by 1080p. In terms of hardware, we have CPU is a Snapdragon 801, and the GPU is the Adreno 330. So in terms of memory, we have 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of ROM, and there is expansion. I guess I should just show you here, of micro SD card up to 64 gigs. We have a camera of a 5 megapixel camera at the front, and at the back is a 13 megapixel camera. As you can see over here. As you can see, this is the battery. The battery is a 3100 milliampere hour battery, non-removable. And we have one very cool thing about this phone. Before I show you the rest, is here. Let's see if we can focus that. Alright, if you look over here, this is the IR blaster. So yeah, it supports IR, so you can test it with my TV, and it works perfectly. So this is insane, right? Very few phones actually have this. Let's not just talk about Chinese phones. Every kinds of phones, very few of them have this anyway. So you can see here, this is the back. We have dual SIM LTE over here, and this is the micro SD card slot that supports up to 64 gigs. So this is the back. One thing that I didn't like about the phone is that if you want to remove your SIM card, it's really difficult. I'm not sure what they're thinking of to cover everything. Apparently there's this slit here. I guess you can use something to push out your micro SD card. Sorry, I mean your SIM card. But I find it really difficult to pry it out. So anyway, here is the setup, and of course we have the speakers at the back here, which is absolutely horrible. Yeah, the speakers in this phone is really bad, I must say, after using it for some time. And one more unique thing about the phone is that they have the micro USB ports slightly to the left. So what this is good for is, I guess, if you are gaming while charging, it will be easier on the hands. Whereas if you have a dock, like an audio dock or anything like that, this might be a problem, especially if you have to dock it in the middle of your dock or whatever. So it's gonna be sideways. I'm not too sure about compatibility. There might be some issues at that end. So yeah, that is basically all there is to the phone in terms of technical specifications. Let us move on to the review. So first up, as the design and build quality, I already mentioned about some of the issues that I have. The micro USB slot towards the left side. Well, I like it. It might prove to be a problem to some people. They have the micro SIM slot. It's very hard to take out the SIM cards, and that's about it. And of course, yeah, the back rear speakers are absolutely horrible. I'm not too sure why people are still doing that. So you can see here there's a few subtle kind of highlights here on the phone. For example, there's this red accent on the camera, and there's this red looking button over here. What's really cool about this red button is that this acts not just as a home button, but also as a notification LED light, and it shines really brightly. And I really love how they implemented it, rather than the standard small LED light at the top. We have of course the very bright circular notification LED over here now. So that's one thing that I absolutely love about this phone. Other than that, the design is pretty much similar to the rest. And the back is made of this like rubberized kind of feeling kind of thing, which it feels nice to the touch. But as you can see, it attracts quite a bit of fingerprints and oil stains as well. So you have to clean it every now and then should you want it to look new. So build quality wise, this phone feels very sturdy to the touch. It's well built. I think I established the fact already that reputable Chinese phone manufacturers out there produce phone and devices that are actually very they can last. Now, let's just put it the way that they are of good quality, and the Nubia, the ZTE Nubia Z7 Max is no exception. So yeah, build quality is great as well. Design, I say already, a few of the things that I like and I dislike. So yeah, overall it's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it in this department. Now, in terms of display, it's a 1080p full HD display, and the colors are vibrant, and there isn't much more to say about it. Viewing angles are great, and yeah, good display. The brightness settings allow the display to be really dark and to be dim enough to be comfortable to be used at night, and bright enough to be used under direct sunlight. But of course, under direct sunlight you might have some reflections like this pesky little looking flashlight that I have over my head. Alright, so display is good. So phone performance, the phone works great. Everything's very smooth. The UI, etc. There is no lag at all, and you should expect that from a Snapdragon 801, and most phones nowadays there isn't any lag at all, and this phone is no different. In terms of phone functionality, like phone calls are very clear at both ends. Phone signal strength is great, very strong wherever I go. And one thing I want to point out that I really like is the Wi-Fi signal strength on this particular device. Now, I'm not too sure why, but I can tell that the Wi-Fi strength signal on this particular device is much better than the rest of the phones I've reviewed so far. Now, this is true for both the 2.4 GHz and 5.0 GHz band, and that's amazing. So yeah, it is very good. The Wi-Fi signal thing on this particular device is very good. So that's one thing that I'm thoroughly impressed. Now, so in terms of GPS, it works perfectly well. Signal and tracking performance is great. Locking takes a few seconds, and then once it's locked, the accuracy is maintained throughout usage. So GPS is great. In terms of phone battery life, I did not test it much on LTE, so I cannot tell you about that. But in terms of 3G, my workday consists of roughly 8 of 10 hours of 3G standby, with an additional 2 hours of screen on time. During this screen on time, I watched videos, I answered messages, and of course I browsed the net. After that, I did answer a few phone calls, and the phone still managed to last slightly more than 24 hours. So this phone can last quite a heavy usage, I must say. So overall, the phone performance is great, and I have nothing to complain about. So yeah, one exceptional thing about this is the Wi-Fi strength, as I've mentioned already. Alright, so in terms of gaming performance, now you see here I already started up an app. This is Temple Run 2. We're going to see how it performs, and you should expect already that everything runs extremely smooth on this particular device with the Snapdragon 801 and the Adreno 330 GPU. There is no problem powering all the latest apps and games without breaking a sweat. So we're going to see some gameplay footage here. This is Temple Run 2, and of course I paused at a time I'm about to die, so I'm going to show you here just quickly. So you can see that there is absolutely no lag, and I'm not sure why I died there, but there's absolutely no lag at all. And I'm going to show you later in a while Minecraft, which is one of the more demanding games out there as well. So let's see, we'll just finish this particular run. So yeah, it's not very responsive. I cannot see it properly through the viewfinder like that. So anyway, this is Temple Run. Let's close it, and we're going to try out Minecraft, which I've already tried, and it works perfectly fine as well. You can see here Minecraft. You're going to see here that this is the start, and once it loaded, you can see absolutely no lag at all. Very smooth, and yeah, so gaming performance, you're gonna have a blast with this. And like I said before, the position of the micro USB port for this particular device at the more towards the left side allows you to actually play while charging. So for example, you can put in your cable here and you can still grip your phone without much problems at all. So that's a very nice thing. So yeah, in terms of gaming performance, it's great. No lag at all, no slowdowns in all the games I've played so far. And if you're looking to get this for a gaming device, then by all means, this is a great device that's powerful enough to run the most graphically intensive and even processor intensive kind of games and apps out there. Now, as you know, this phone runs on the custom Android OS, termed Nubia UI. It is, if you want to find more information about that, you can watch towards the end of the video where I have the whole walkthrough of some of the few unique features. Otherwise, here is a summary of what I feel about the Nubia UI. It is a great OS, it's a great custom OS. I can see myself using it for my daily driver. There are some new features that are introduced, especially the split screen and one-hand usage that I feel that can be very useful for some people out there. So yeah, the custom OS that ZTE has provided is pretty good as well. In terms of the camera supports up to 4K videos. So you can actually take up to 4K, and I'm going to show you now the camera app for WoW. So what we have here is the camera app, and it supports three different kind of modes. You can see here we have auto, we have pro, and we have the fun mode. So the pro mode allows you to like edit some of your settings such as ISO, white balance, and the fun mode allows you to apply particular filters and effects, etc. So to make your photo look cool. And yeah, that's basically about it. Photo quality is pretty decent. I wouldn't say that it is out of the park or anything like that, but it is good enough. And the video quality, if you take 4K videos, it looks really good. It's very sharp, very crisp, and colors are captured very nicely as well. Again, you can see all this different sample that I've recorded via the links that will be posted in the full written review. So in terms of camera, I'm pretty satisfied. There's nothing to there's no wow factor here, but it is pretty good. So in terms of official and community support. The phone is well supported by the manufacturers themselves. There's constant updates coming in for the Nubia UI, and there are many custom ROMs out there as well for the Z7 Max. I believe there is a Synergen mod one, there is the MIUI as well, and there's a lot of different ROMs out there. Do note though that the English community for this particular device isn't that strong. There is a thread in XDA forums, but it isn't that active. But the official forums, which is in Chinese language, is very active, and there are a lot of people there talking about the phone, providing support and giving customization options as well to the phone. So that is a very nice thing about the phone. So in conclusion, the ZTE Nubia Z7 Max is a great phone, I must say. If you consider price tag, it's about 300 to 400, I believe it's 300 US dollar thereabout. It is a great phone for the specifications and for the performance. Real life performance, it is a very good phone. And it is, and one more thing that is not just the hardware that is good. Like I mentioned already, the official and community support for the phone is excellent as well. So you are well covered there. You should be running the latest Android, or if not one of the latest few versions, and you do not have to worry that the manufacturer abandons the phone, because they seem to take care of their phones very well. So, and one more thing about this is that this phone is one of the few phones out there that supports dual SIM LTE or dual SIM 4G. So if you're in the market for one such particular device, look no further. I believe this is probably one of the cheapest and most value for money that you can buy with money. So yeah, if you are looking for a high performance phone at a price range that isn't too expensive, look no further. The ZTE Nubia Z7 Max is a great phone for your money. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the phone. A great phone indeed. And I'm going to show you now, I'm not going to show you the Nubia UI, some of the different kind of features that I really like. So for that, I'm going to turn down the lights. Let's see if we can. Right, I'm going to have to focus this. Okay, so here are some features about the phone. From the lock screen, you can actually go straight to your camera or unlock it as such. And this is the home screen. It uses the iOS style of handling the management of your apps, meaning that there are no app drawer present at all. So all your apps will be in the home screen, but they have folder management and so on and so forth. So first thing you're gonna see is that the aesthetic is the aesthetics is quite pleasant. The icons are nicely done, and this is the default stock icons that comes with Nubia UI, and I really like it. So one thing about the launcher that's really cool is that it supports this function to actually add different apps that you want to shift around to a particular dock. So you can actually shift to, say, a different home screen and add it there, or you can open up a folder and add it there. So that's very nice. I find this very intuitive and really good. Very easy to use system, and I'm very pleased with it. And one more thing about the UI is that the OS rather, is that it supports custom themes here. You can open up the app, and there are a lot of user submitted icon packs, etc., that you can download to actually change. If you don't like your lock screen, you don't like the stock icons, you can actually change them as well. As you can see here, there's loads, and it just keeps loading. So that is in terms of the launcher. Now here are some features that I really like about the phone. I'll show you here. Is this called one hand kind of thing. So once you enable this one hand feature, what happens is that if you tilt the phone, let's see if we can get it, and you can see here it immediately becomes very small, so you can actually use your thumb to reach everything. And if you want to for example, if we open say my timetable here and we want to shift back, you just tilt it back and there, full screen. Tilt it to the right again, you get it to your thumb. So it's very intuitive kind of thing, which I can see very useful for people, and I believe more people, hopefully more people catch on this particular kind of function. So that's the one hand, and there's this split screen function as well. So you can see here we split the screen and you can access two different apps at the same time. So we can just open, say, the handbook, and we have my key pass here, and you can see it's a full-fledged app here that you can, wow, look at that, it's very nice. It's very useful as well. I can see it really useful for people that want to multitask. While the screen is not the largest, it's only 5.5 inch, it's really huge for a phone, but I believe you can do like some note taking and whatsoever while or messaging while viewing your games. That's possible as well. You can adjust how far each particular window is as well. So that's the split screen function, which is really cool. I really like it a lot. So the phone also supports some gestures here. I'm going to show you. Let's see, features. We have some gestures here. For example, the double tap to on the screen. You have the palm screen lock, which I can never make it work. Apparently, if you cover the screen, it would automatically shut down, but I can never make it work. You have like 3 fingers to take screenshots. You can draw a circle to take screenshots, and so on and so forth. So this is in terms of touch gestures, which it's not as many as you see in perhaps say the Color OS by Oppo, but it is pretty decent. And we of course have the another thing called smart sensing, which I did not use. Basically, if your phone is ringing and you picked it up, it will automatically answer and something like that. So those are all very nice features. Okay, I'm going to show you the double tap. Yep, there we go. Double tap to let it light up. So it's very sensitive, and I really like it. And so yeah, that's basically about it. These are just some of the very nice features that the phone has. Of course, I talked about the IR blaster, and it works perfectly well. And it also has this power saver and their own management app, like you see in many other custom Chinese Android OS out there. Basically allows you to manage your phone better. You can apply rules such as firewall rules to particular apps, prevent it from sending signals or information in and out whatsoever. So this is a very nice touch as well. So yeah, that is the new Nubia UI. I said it earlier in the review. I really like it. I can see it as using it as my daily driver, and I see that some of the features like the split screen is really cool, and I hope that more manufacturers out there actually implement such things to their own OS as well. Now, of course, I would love to see for the additional gestures such as drawing a circle to go into camera, for example, or an arrow to skip a track. Similar to that of Color OS, maybe implemented next time to Nubia UI, and it'll be fantastic. So that's all I have to say about the ZTE Z7 Max. If you have any comments or questions, do leave it in the comment section. Otherwise, do subscribe to the channel for more of such videos.